Hi there, welcome back here. In last few lectures, we have been talking quite extensively about the memory. In this lecture, we'll continue with something else. I would like to introduce you some other accessors for your variables and also functions. Okay, let's start in our conjugators. Let's open here our smart contract, faucet contract, and a part of your public and external accessors, you can also have private and internal. Okay, so I can mark it as a private, and I can also mark it as internal. So what's the difference between the private and internal? Also, I can use the private internal on my functions. Okay, I'll write here comments for a private variables and functions can be accessible only within the smart contract. Internal can be accessible, so can be accessible within smart contract and also derived smart contract. Okay, so private is very strict. You only accessible, so your variables and functions are only accessible within smart contract, but when you specify something internal, if you have some derived contract, then you can access your internal variables and functions there. But about this we'll be talking later when we'll create some derived smart contracts. Okay, so when we'll keep it public, and you should have it compiled with the public here. Let's find here funders interface in our ABI specification. So what's a funders? Let's notice here our contracts, not a build. I have here also testing JSON because we have created this testing JSON solidity file. Actually, we can remove it. We don't need it. All right. For some reason, it was created for me. Oh, you can also remove this testing.sol. We don't really need it. You can still find it in my GitHub repository. Okay, so in our faucet, when you will scroll up here, there should be your funders created. So when you will search here, it is your funders in ABI specification. It's a getter, function getter. It was created for you automatically, and it takes the input of uint 256. So when you will search for it, when you will get its basically function ID from the Kesak 256. So let's get here funders, and it takes the uint 256. This is the hashed version of this function, and we can get first 4 bytes. So let's get here 8 characters like this. D0, D3, DFF. You should find it in your bytecode. Here it is. So definitely function is here. I can access it from within my smart contract with a function name because it's in ABI, and also when I will make a transaction and I will specify there this hexadecimal, I can access this function. But when I will mark something as a private, let's make it as a private, this will be not there any longer. Okay, so I'll remigrate here, truffle migrate reset, and I will search for the same hexadecimal characters. There shouldn't be there. Okay, so recompiled. Let's get back into faucet. You can see up here there is no funders any longer, and I will search for these hexadecimal characters. They are not there, so you'll be not able to call this function from outside. I can still access the storage data because, as I mentioned, everything in the smart contract is public, so I will be able to access the storage from outside. I will show you the later example of it, but I cannot simply call it when I will specify this data in the transaction, or I will specify this function name when I'm using ABI. I'll be not able to call it. So that's the private and the internal. Okay, so just very simple example. Let's continue next lecture, and we'll be talking about the storage in quite big detail. So same as with the memory, I have a couple of lectures about the memory. The storage will take as many lectures as the memory, maybe even more. I want for you to have a complete understanding of these topics before we'll be creating some difficult smart contracts. Okay, guys, so let's continue next one. Cheers.